HTML relies heavily upon the tag system. Now, the tag system has many flaws and pluses to it. One of those flaws has been that some people, when initially learning HTML, can find it fairly difficult to get the layout they're looking for with HTML alone. Now, of course, later on you'll learn about CSS and JavaScript, and how you can use those languages to affect the layout of the page, but first starting off, it can be a little difficult to get the layout you want. Now, one of the biggest ways HTML handles this is through the use of block level tags and inline tags. Now, these tags have their built-in definitions, so you can't change one tag's block level or inline element. So, just to give you an example, the P tag or paragraph tag is a block level tag. We can tell this by, if we just create a simple test input here. So we have a basic example of a paragraph tag. Now if we look at the render of this HTML here, you'll see pretty simple, just this is a test input. Now if we create another paragraph tag just below of similar content, you can see that it's been placed on the line below, and there's also a slight break in between these two bits of content. Now the break itself and the size of the break is down to the browser, but one thing that I'll also always carry along is the fact that there is a line break between these two pieces of content. Now another feature is another bit of content, say a head1 tag, will further break the page. As you can see, there's more of a gap between the first paragraph and the title paragraph. So this is down to the factor that H1 paragraph, H2, all of the H's for that matter, and to various other degrees, various other elements, that these are block level tags. This means that when they're inserted, they shall create a line break and be on the next line down, while also creating a slight margin around the element itself to create a bit of a break. Now you want to move on to the inline elements, and these are different styles of elements which, when inserted, won't necessarily create a line break. Something to remember about block level tags is the fact they create a line break before and after their creation. So if we look at our work here, we can see that when we create a line break or a new block level element, it creates the line break afterwards, and that's what causes this line break after this element here. So if we were to create a block level element, I mean an inline level element here, which a button is an inline element, you see that it is in fact on the next line, even though it's inline. But if we were to take this button and put it inside the paragraph, counting that the line break is created after the paragraph closing tag, we can now see it is inline. And this is a simple way to get some layout to your HTML page without having to rely on CSS. And it's always important to remember that you want to separate your HTML and your CSS and your JavaScript to as a greater degree as possible. So it can be useful to get a good layout, or like a good basic layout, with just the HTML alone. Now you may be wondering that, well, maybe the button is just a simple inline element, but if you were to put another block level element within inside a block level element, like so, then you can see it goes down on the next line because it is a block level element. It creates a line break before and after its content, and that is simple block level and inline elements. So to summarize, there is certain elements in HTML which are block level. This means they create a line break before and after, and have a sizable margin depending upon the element and the browser type that will separate other elements from them. And then there are inline elements, where if you insert these within block level elements, they shall not create a line break, and they shall just follow on from where the natural page flow is at the moment. That is block level and inline elements.